This is the digit robot. Let me show you this. This guy right here. Okay. This robot is currently working at a factory in South Carolina. And it will be spreading. And the only reason it exists really is because of the robots like that, the little like shuttle robots that move boxes around the factory at like Amazon factories, don't have the ability to lift shit off of a, yeah, he'll take one. Absolutely. There's other ones I'd rather have. But it doesn't have the ability to move these boxes for moving shit around. Right? Okay. This is 6 months ago. This is one of their tests that they did. Let's see if they can get further along, and then they're...
To get Digit to operate in our spaces, these robots need to not necessarily look like us, but they need to move like us. At Agility Robotics, we made our first robot, Cassie. Cassie was just a pair of legs. It was very useful for us to...
And that ass...
to build a culture of building products and supporting products.
Oh, by the way, why do they have fetlocks? Anybody know? Anybody know? You know why they have fetlocks? Because it's easier to go downstairs and upstairs with fetlocks when you're a robot than it is with regular knees. It's not just the balance of it. Balance is definitely a part of it.
Products for customers, and we got them out there to some of the top universities in the world. Where
so then they go and they work on this guy.
And helpful in our lives.
There it is, and it goes fishing and whatever, and they learn to run. And this is the guy. And now this is what it does. It helps all the back-breaking work in a warehouse. That's what it's going to do. This is the future. It's watering plants. It's living in the superstructure. Okay. Now, granted, this city thing is very silly and very Jetsons. But let me, is there an ad ripoff? Yeah, the legs version, yeah. But I made this point the other day with Rob, and I think it's a good one, is that you do not have, fetlocks are what are the backwards knees that like cattle have on their hind legs, or cats have. They have their legs, instead of their knees going forward, like ours do, they go backwards like this. You could argue that humans have, if we were four-legged, we would have fetlocks on our front. Yeah? Okay. So, there is no, this is the future without the GOP, absolutely. There is no future where you have structures like this, mega structures especially, or giant stuff like this, if human effort has to build it. Period. End of story. Not happening. All the stuff that we're looking at the future for, like the big, you know, what the cities look like in any futuristic movie, from Blade Runner to any of these others, or the fucking giant space stations that hold the Enterprise in the future 100,000 years ago, 100 or 1,000 years from now, right? None of that exists if humans have to fucking sit there and go gown and weld it themselves. Not going to happen. Never. Okay. Because the only way you could do it is slavery. That's how the pyramids were built. That's how the Great Wall of China was built. That's how every giant thing was built for a very long time, was some dude with a whip making other people do it just to stay alive. Once you have robots, that's not a problem anymore. And they could just build and build and build and build and build and build and build. And they don't get tired and they swap out and all that kind of shit. I wouldn't say this 100 years from now. I'd say it's about 25 years from now. Because it's going to be an acceleration. Fetlock equals ankle? Yes, that's true. And the on a human, our ankle is a fetlock, that's right. And it leans forward. But on animals, it's where our knees would be. For that purpose, right? Thank you, Joy. But you don't have, there's no version of the super future we have been talking about unless robots are making it. Just not going to happen, okay? And that will be the primary focus of them within, 5 years of them going online. They're not going to just walk around, fucking vacuuming. They're going to be in factories making prefab walls, and they're going to be constructing things and that kind of stuff. That's what it's going to. That's what it'll be for. And once that happens, the cost of labor goes to zero. What happens when the cost of labor goes to zero? When nobody can charge to do the work because the work is just done. Even to the point where you could buy a robot, a couple of them, and with the available open source software and AI, make your own fucking robot. If you could get the parts, right? And or make your own parts and then have those parts make better parts, and right? That's the direction things are going. The question is how long? Excess population is redundant. Yeah, that's true. But population's been going down anyways. The robot took our jobs. That's right. Well, and I would argue that in the whole argument about like Elon Musk saying that, or Trump worrying about illegals or maggots worrying about illegals taking their jobs or whatever, what the fuck is an Optimus going to do? It's an undocumented immigrant if you don't count the warranty. Let's see. Let's see if there's a. Let's see. That's the Gen 2. Yeah. So
Elon Musk just provided quite a few interesting updates for Tesla's Optimus robot program, which I'm going to cover in this video. So
also, yikes. Who the fuck? Get out of here. I love how they speed up the footage. Autonomous at 2x speed. I thought that guy was moving pretty fucking fast. I love how the Optimus always looks like it has to pee, or it's about to take a shit, where it's like, I'm shitting, I've got to shit. The bathroom better be open. Okay, don't care. Yeah, so this is the scanners that they're putting on it, the LiDAR, yada, yada, yada. They put in all these things, and all these ads, and yada, and the Tesla cars, and these are more of the ads for it. This is what he's been saying about these things. And this is what he's trying to do. He wants to replace the people in the Tesla factories with these guys. There's like 9 people left, and he wants to replace all of them. What happens when that happens? What's a car worth if it only costs you the materials to make it at a certain point, right? What's it worth? Why would I pay you that amount if I know what it costs you and it costs you nothing, right? So the point is, these guys are going to replace your jobs, not fucking immigrants. See how they're training guys? These are the training facilities. Okay, think of this as the physical version of how an LLM worked. I think how confuse hawks with fetlocks. Possibly. Yeah, these are the way he's showing them off and everybody. And I don't know how maggots didn't see these things and go, wait a minute, this dude is talking to Trump and he wants to replace you with these things. He thinks you're an idiot. Maggots. He thinks you're an idiot. He thinks he knows you're an idiot. How about that? And you are, worthless to his work scheme. And the more he can make you obsolete, the faster he can do it, he will do it. So MAGA robots. That's the point I'm trying to make is that if that's what's coming, worst part, you won't be around in 25 years. Well, if you live 5 more, that's debatable. Because there's another factor where people will be able to be kept alive a lot longer. And it won't just be for the rich, because it will be actually cheaper to keep you young than it will be to treat you for disease once it arrives. It will be more financially viable to lower people's aging than to let them succumb to the disease of age. But that's what Musk, whether he's going to be able to do it is one thing, but that's what he wants to do. And they're speeding towards it as fast as they fucking can. And one of the reasons why Musk wants to be in there is not just with his, hoping he gets certain government contracts with his AI, but also with the robots themselves. And the standard for what those robots can and will do is going to be, a big deal. Hold on. Let me see if I can show you. Yeah. Here's his problem. You want to see his problem? Let's see. What the fuck is it like? I think they're on the 3 already. Let's see. 6 months ago, there's figure 1. Open AI figure. There you go. Oh, I got to go to YouTube to do it. Sorry, beg your pardon. Figure 3 open AI. I like to remind everybody. Where is it? Oh, because the O3 Mini just entered. So I'll just go figure robot. I'll just call it that. These people. Okay, newest thing. That's the figure 1. I need the newest one. Let me show you this real quick. There's the figure 2. Oh, figure 2 hasn't officially come out yet. Maybe that's what it is. Newest one. Excuse me. This year. I'll just do this year. All right. Well,
over 50% more energy.
Oh, shut up. So, this was figure 1 a few months ago, where they were using the talking chat thing. That's what he looked like. Didn't have legs. Could do limited things. All this stuff. Then they announced this guy. This is the figure 1 with legs. Then they're working on everything else themselves. This is the body part. This is the one that's working in the BMW factory. 6 million people to fill the positions that are available. Key warehouse suppliers predict they will run out of people by 20. What is it? What was the number? 2024. Yeah, to hire by 2024. That's exactly what is happening. These are fully autonomous tasks, and they're going to replace these. They're going to replace people in these situations. There's Digit. There's all these guys. But this is how they're training them. They're training them in these virtual environments. I would argue, you want to solve the debt problem? That's how you do it. You're going to do it anyways. And physical labor sucks unless you want to do it. If you want to woodwork for a living or you want to work physically, that's awesome. I'm sure there are different efforts you could put in, but the need for it, the absolute baseline need for it, a baseline of quality, right? Is that the future of the rich? No, because these robots are all like cheaper than a car. I would agree if they were, $180,000 a piece and they're just something a fucking rich dude or a rapper had in their house, it'd be one thing. But these things the price point on these things are $16,000 to $20,000 right now. And that's going to, just like a used car, they're going to continue to go down. But once they've got a capability, once they got a certain amount of manual flexibility and articulation, and they've got the ability to move around, you update the software and that thing's going to keep being useful until it ain't. Until you're just tired of it or something better comes along. And they won't necessarily be future soldiers because, again, what are you going to do? Invade and take somebody's robots? How much would it take to maintain? Well, that's where the lease thing would be part of it. It's hard to say at this point. I would guess, depending on how tinkery you are, you could probably do it yourself. Because they're all, like, self-referential. Yes, exactly. 56 Nick Rich. Robots are here to stay. And if you're going to solve the debt problem and you're going to do all that, the fastest thing you could do is get, like, physical labor, mining, that kind of shit down to an absolute zero. Yeah, but you can't sexually harass them at work. The bosses won't go over that. I think you're right, Group Dragon. So the key point I'm trying to make is that those guys who are talking to you about the debt, and they're like, oh my God, the fucking debt. Oh, we're at this percentage of the debt against the GDP and the bit. Okay, they're fucking around. They just want to make money until this happens. They want to be sitting on top of a pile, build all their shit until the cost of labor goes to zero and everybody can afford a life like they have. How would you change the oil? It doesn't use oil. It would use synthetic stuff in the joints. It's all electric. So this is if this is going to be the future, I would argue for the sake of humanity, this is what you want to do faster. I love servos as well, Water Goddess. I can't tell you. Remember, kids, always zero your servos before you install them. I don't know how many times. I don't know why it took me that long to learn that lesson, but how can robots replace Bruce Willis? No. But hopefully if he lives long enough, they might be able to reverse what's going on with him. That would be the best case scenario. It would be lubricant, not oil. Thank you. Yes, I agree. Max sex robots. Those are coming too, obviously. And I don't fault anybody, who... I'm not here to yuck anybody's yum. It's not my thing, but it doesn't mean it ain't yours. And I think every man who's seen one of those sex robots that is available right now has two thoughts. Wow, that's the thing, huh? And the second thought is, where the fuck would I hide it? So, there you go. What is a servo on a Mac? A servo on a Mac? I mean, there are no servos in a computer. I don't know what you mean. Okay. Anyways, I'm going over but I wanted to talk to you about this because you're going to hear a bunch of shit about cost cutting and all this kind of shit, and it's a lot of them running around try to batten down the hatches before the Titanic hits. And when you hear Trump and Musk and all these guys talking about there's going to be some pain before everything gets better again, and then it's going to get way better, this is kind of what they're talking about. If there's a future where everyone can live the life they want, who will be society's scapegoats? Well, nobody will need one. Right? Everybody check out Boston Brian. He's going to come on in a half an hour. I'm going to bow out, and I will see you guys tomorrow afternoon. Thursday show is on later. It's at 4 o'clock. I adore you guys. And understand there is a future we are headed towards, and the people who think they have the most control of it have the least. Look sometimes at people's actions that they do swiftly and boldly and brashly, and understand that it's seldom from a position of strength. Just because they're like, oh fuck, we're behind, and if we don't catch up, we're gonna just be useless. We got to stake our claim right now, or we're fucked. And a lot of it's going to be like erased by reality. I'm telling you. I love you guys. I'm very bullish about the future, as you can tell. And I think that a lot of these assholes think that they're going to wreck it for everyone. And they've showed up just in time for it not to matter. This is Trump and his ilk are to government programs and the like what Russia is to military. Everybody fears them and thinks they're going to destroy everything. And it turns out 2 years in, they're going to have fucked themselves into a cocked hat and still trying to sell baseline machismo. Love ya. Oh, and I've got to turn on my music. I'm sorry. That's so mean of me. It's just so wrong. Hold on. Here it comes. Let's see. Let's go with this. Oh, yeah, baby. Hit that like, share the show, Venmo if you would, and patreon.com/HalSparks. Check out Boston Brian if you would. He's going to be on a little bit.